Want to 10x your growth? Discover how only 3 growth hacks in 10 days can change everything. Welcome to the 10-Day Growth Hacking Challenge with your host, Nader Sabri. Today, we are here with Amanda out of Queens, New York, who's shaking up the beauty business. First off, congratulations for finishing the 10-Day Growth Hacking Challenge. Woohoo! And she is shaking things up in what she is doing. She is amazing. She pivoted prior to the actual challenge itself. So congratulations you on that front, not just because of what you did, but you're the first contender to actually pivot before actually taking the challenge. We've had contenders that pivot at the beginning, middle, end. You know, it's just part of the territory, but you pivoted at the very beginning. And I think it was a very powerful thing that you had done because you'd recognized dependencies versus independency. And you made an amazing strategic choice that I think had reflected very well in the results that you had over the last 10 days. But that's my opinion and my views, and pass it over to you. I mean, yeah.
Always choose yourself. Always choose you, right? That's the whole scheme of the thing that we're doing here, right? So if you don't have full control, if you can't access it all on your own, it's something you might want to rethink, right? So
exactly. No, hats off to you. I mean, you knew what those dependencies were, and the most important part is
it
the
looked
courage.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
it looked beautiful. It really did. But you know what? I have to put my focus in things that I can control so that I can, move this stuff forward the right way.
exactly.
And yeah.
Exactly.
So thank you.
That's awesome. So let's step back a bit. The idea behind as we finish the challenge is to reflect. And the first part of reflection is always kind of like, what are the results that you've gotten kind of overall? What were some of the learnings, motivations, inspirations, and how this process has actually helped you basically to go from where you were prior to the challenge, where you are today after finishing the challenge?
Oh, I have nothing but beautiful things to say about this challenge. When I first started, I said 10 days. Yeah, okay. And all I can say is that I'm really proud and very surprised at how much I was able to accomplish, even mentally, in 10 days. How much my mindset has changed, how my perception of how I work has changed, my priorities have changed. And that has completely just changed the energy and the momentum in my business, my branding. I can see more long-term, bigger ideas now too are coming from it. So something that was so capped and small in the beginning now has room for growth. And I think that that's amazing, because essentially I feel like that's what everyone wants. They want an idea that they can build on and grow. And at first I had ideas that were really great, but at some point there was like a cap and there was a little bit of a limit. I couldn't see the long term. And now I feel like the ideas have grown, and there's more to look forward to in the future. Your book and the growth hacking, it's real. And I also see it in my regular everyday life. Like I feel like I've been more calm. I feel like I've been more like thinking more logically. Like it's been really nice, and I feel more confident too, because I struggle with discipline and I struggle with consistency, and this was really a challenge. So I think it's gonna help me in the long run a lot. So I thank you. I thank your challenge. I thank the person who nominated me so much. I'm so grateful. And I hope that you keep doing this, because this is so beautiful. You're helping so many people on so many different planes, on so many different levels. It's insane. This method can help the person with the smallest idea, like something so tiny like a soap or a candle making business, to maybe someone like you said that works in a film industry, or works in a financial district. There is no social class for the structure that that you're putting together here for people. And I think that that's so beautiful, that everyone can can be helped from this one kind of thing. So it's so nice.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, I think that one of the things, like some of my observations, one of the ones I noticed and I was really happy you'd done in the beginning is you cracked through one of the biggest mindset challenges I see, which is signals versus results. And when that switch went off, I think that was one of the biggest triggers for you, where you started just seeing signals and you're like, this signal is working, this signal is not. And it started leading you to results, and you became unworried about getting results, which lifted a burden off of you. And that's brilliant.
It did.
That's exactly what it's supposed to do.
It allows you to, to work better. Because if you're stuck on something, and I've been there where I'm like, this is great. This is great. And it's like you said, well, numbers don't lie. So like, it's great. And people are saying it's great, but you're getting no views. I haven't had any like kind of interaction for a while. It's just been dead. And now with these new like do it yourself at home tutorials and kind of bringing in people so that they can play with me at the same time. And like I said earlier, it's more room for like there's more interaction, there's more community, there's more questions that can be asked, which is going to essentially be like, well, what's energy healing, and how can I benefit from that, which is the goal, right? So I'm really happy about that. You don't even know.
Yeah, no, it was one of the first transformations I noticed. The other transformation I noticed, which was this happens to many people, I mentioned that in hack 3, which is one of the things that happens in this process is you get this crystal clear target. And you become, this world of kind of confusion or complexity starts to kind of go away. The fog goes away, and all of a sudden your target or what you're after becomes so crystal clear. It is clear as day. And it's clarity. And at the very beginning, when that clarity kind of kicked in, you remember that first exercise kind of pre the challenge that we did. And I knew at that point, I was like, I know you were still like kind of not into the process. I said, believe me, it's well worth taking an extra day or two, because once that clarity is in place, the remaining is like you just gunning it through the process. And it was brilliant to see. This happens many times on this challenge. And people who embrace people who embrace this clarity, it's one of this, it's like this long-term fuel that just keeps you going.
I'm not stressed anymore. And it's weird because you think that because you have your business and you're so worried about, like the income, and you're so worried about all these other things, you get worried and you think that you're supposed to be stressed out. But I've been able to accomplish more not being stressed out. And I feel the clarity really did lift a burden on me, because it's always like I was looking for results. I wasn't looking for signals. I was looking for an end, when there's no end to this. This is just an ever going until it turns into that franchise idea, or until it turns into that idea where it's like finally it moves on its own. I finally understand that, and I see that, and I feel more comfortable in the process of it. It's more flowy, and it works better when you're flowing instead of that resistance of like, what am I doing wrong? And why is this not working? And why are there no clients? Like,
just let it flow. I mean,
let it flow.
Just let it flow. And let it flow is something that I genuinely believe in very strong, but it's so difficult to do. But once you pass over that hurdle, it becomes easier and easier. And so when things get in the way of your flow, and this has happened to me recently, in fact, the last couple of days, I had something get in the way of my flow, and I have to consistently remind myself, like, listen, step back. It's happening for a reason. Just let it flow and then move on to the next thing. Just let it pass. Because whatever these things that happen to us are like a storm. They come in and then they go away. A storm is temporary. It doesn't last forever.
It is.
Right. And so we always got to keep that in mind. So just flow.
And I felt that even in this weekend, there's so many things going on. Like I have so many different events. You're an entrepreneur, but you also have, there's life. You have life, right? And I've been doing this now for over 5 years. So this is the first time in a long time that I can remember that I felt this clarity. I felt this like comfort. I felt this ease, and it's been helping me. Like I said in the last video, I feel like this challenge has even helped me outside of my business. It's just helping me with me. And I feel much better because, right, your business is your life when you're into whatever it is that you do. So if you feel like your business isn't doing well, or you feel like your ideas aren't flowing, I feel like that's going to really interact with your entire life. You're probably like, all levels of your life. So it's been really nice to not have that stress on me. It's been really nice to just see the flow and to be comfortable with the pivots too. So it's like, let it go, let it flow, and pivot when you need to, right? And pivot.
I love that. Let it go. What do you say? Let it go, let it flow.
Let it go, let it flow, and pivot.
And pivot. Yeah. It sounds like a dance song, right?
Yeah. We can actually make that into a TikTok.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So format, right? We're playing with format.
Right.
Yeah, that's
But this is
awesome.
so great because, right, I'm helping, right? My last one is going to be a growth hack is to help people build their own business, right? And to like, what do you do? So this has helped me so much because I'm going to use a lot of the skills that I've learned through this challenge. I'm going to use it for them. So who knows, maybe I'll be like, let it go, let it
Yeah,
flow, let it
let it
go,
flow.
and pivot.
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
definitely going to let them know about pivoting. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you just gotta pivot.
You just got to pivot. Yeah. And you'd be surprised that I run this thing called the secret of resilience, how not to give up. And we have these reasons why people do something or not take action. And so one of the things we found out statistically is that only
Yeah.
about 3 to 5% of people in their whole lifetime will pivot once, like 3 to 5%. And there's a reason behind it. I won't go into it here. Obviously, it's a bit out of context, but there's a reason
Yeah.
behind why people don't actually do it. And there's a reason why people actually do it, but it's not very many people. And so just like a little tiny pivot is incredibly powerful. You'd be surprised. And in today's world, where resilience is key to success, but regardless of size of business or industry, resilience is at the core of your ability to be able to get that consistency and that discipline that we keep talking about that's required to keep going.
I got the resilience. Now I just need to work on the other two.
Exactly. And it'll come. It'll come.
You know, it'll come.
Awesome. So for those who are tuning in, I mean, if there was like a takeaway that you wanted to pass on to them as a learning, what would it be? What would you like them to know about not this process or something that you've learned, whatever it is? What would you like them to know?
I think I said it all with, you know, the first, you know, what I said in the beginning. Your mindset is everything. And if your mindset and your mental health isn't well, you're not going to be able to, you know, carry out what you want to do. So having this time, these 10 days to see the importance of writing things down and understanding that pivoting is an actual thing that can help you grow instead of taking you back. Because the second you feel like you have to change things up, you're like, oh my God, I forget it. You know, don't give up. If you really want whatever it is that you're doing, you just have to keep going and you can't give up, right? Resilience is everything. So just keep going. Don't stop. If you need to take a moment to regroup, but don't quit, because you're going to be mad at yourself and you're going to realize that all that time you spent stressing out or giving up, it was everyone else in the process is in the same emotions. The only difference was they didn't stop and you did. And you know, you're going to regret that. So keep going.
Keep going. That's it. So the takeaway is just keep going. Don't stop.
Keep going. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Awesome. So as we come to the end of our format, at the end of the 10-day growth hacking challenge, as you all know, that the challenge is worth $10,000 and we have a paid forward system. And the way it works is each contender will then nominate 3 other people that they believe not also would they benefit from this process, but also qualify. And for more information, you can go to the website, of course, to learn about what those qualifications are. But you can only be nominated either through an existing or previous contender, or myself, or someone I have nominated who can nominate others. So as always, I will hand it over to you. Who would you like to nominate to pay this forward to?
So I have 2 contestants that they come to mind right away. I'm keeping it within the same, the kind of like the same style, the same flow I'm doing, the same mission. Some really amazing people that I've met along my journey in my career. One is named Charlisa Erickson, and she's doing something similar to what I'm doing in terms of we all have the same mission. We are mixing energy healing with everything. We are going to bring mindfulness and conscious behavior to people doing the things that they love. So Charlie has been my I would say mentor. She's been my guide. She's the person that I've worked with in energy healing, and she has done so much for me. This woman has changed my life. Wow. I've seen her build her business from the ground up. I've seen her pivot. I've seen her do everything that we've talked about throughout this 10-day growth challenge on her own. And I think that having someone like you to help, to help her along the way is going to really just it's gonna change her whole thing. She
Awesome.
mixes art with energy healing, art as a form of therapy. So she does intuitive painting, and she does one-on-one sessions with her clients that go deeper than just energy healing physically, but there's like conversation that goes in with that. There's a lot of artwork that's done with that, writing prompts, and just getting very, very creative and mixing energy healing into even singing, because she works with creatives and she works with artists. So she helps with all of those blockages that come with, when you're trying to get into like art. When you're an artist in general, you get those writer's block. That's
Yep.
her main shot. Like
Wow.
that's her audience, right? And it's so cool. But then at the same time, if you think about it, we're all artists.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
all
yeah.
have some type of creative thing that we love. So these methods of an alternative therapy style really work for people, because it's doing things
Wow.
that we love.
So
Even
she
singing, music.
should be a block hacker.
She's
Oh,
she's
yeah.
when you meet her, you're gonna really see that she is just I have a
Awesome.
I really do. And she's lovely. My other friend, colleague, coworker is her name is Melanie Aguirre, and she's mixing energy healing with dancing. She's a professional dancer, and so she has a
Wow.
studio. And so everything that she does, she incorporates how, you know, she incorporates the physical body with the emotional body. And she believes that sometimes you just have to move that energy around physically. So we move it around with energy healing, but physically dancing with the intention of healing, and moving your body with the intention of moving that stagnant energy and bringing that consciousness. It really does something, and it's so amazing. And she mixes that with so many different, with meditation. She mixes dancing with meditation and yoga. And I mean, again, like, my friends are awesome. They're such beautiful people. And I attend their classes. I go, I support their business, and I see how they change people's lives, including mine. And that's why I really nominate them, because they're putting so much good out here into the world, and they could really use some help. So
Awesome. Bring
those are
them
my
on
two
board.
girls. Yeah.
Awesome. So I
So I'm
love that.
excited for them to, yeah, I'm excited for them to get to know you and stuff, because right, that
Awesome.
the frustration is real everywhere.
Yeah, the struggle is real. I completely agree with you. And as you saw, the method can work for many people, many levels, and it's not impossible. You don't have to have any special background to make this work. And that's the beauty of this. And so when you have like very interesting backgrounds, like what you've just described with the two nominees, it like takes things to a next level. And that's always exciting to work with just a
I
diverse
thought
group
you
of
would like
people.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing. That is awesome.
Yeah,
So
we're mixing energy healing here with beauty. We're mixing energy healing with dance and art.
I like
we're,
it.
we're gonna open up a whole studio together.
Well, that's your community building. And I think that's really important because that could be one of the hacks that you put into your next level, which I'm going to talk about in a second, because I have another
Yeah, we're
challenge
gonna
for
get
you.
richer. We're gonna get richer in this. We're
Yes,
that's it. We have a whole army of people that are just gonna be out here
exactly. And it will
creating
grow, and
happy.
it will grow as a movement globally as well, because you're really onto
Yeah,
something that is not just New York based, it's everywhere. People are ready
yeah.
and willing and looking for these kinds of
They're
things.
they're looking
Yeah,
for it. Yeah, I do
exactly.
feel it.
They are. They are. So awesome. So as we come to the end of the challenge, I always have one last challenge for every contender. And ultimately, as you know, in the book and the challenge,
Oh,
we did the first three challenges together. So if in the next
yeah.
60 days you finish the remaining 17, I'll put you into my all-star program, which is being defined at the moment, but is basically a next level program on how to take contenders that really push the envelope and stretch the boundaries of growth and bring them into a program that accelerates everything else happening for them. So I challenge you, of course, in the next 6 days to finish the remaining 17. You have a ton of them already, by the way, as we've come
I
up with, right?
do.
Yeah,
That's why
so
I'm so excited. I have this.
exactly.
I kind of have a lot going already.
Yeah. So that was the
Okay.
kind of the secret behind it. Whenever somebody has his minds, like write them down, but I never tell them why until the very end. I'm like, you remember when I told you write them down, build that inventory, and then start
Yeah.
linking them. So that's why to give them a head start. So yeah, there we go. There we go. Awesome,
Yeah.
Amanda. Congratulations.
It was
Awesome.
so nice. This was so nice, guys. Definitely get the book. It's worth it. It really helps you put down your ideas together. And now that I met you, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna hear your voice while I'm like reading the book. I'm like, oh,
You know what's behind it. Like that's
I
the
know,
beauty of it. Yeah,
yeah.
you
The
know exactly what's
feeling,
behind
the
it.
intention behind your book, it's just very you like there's energy healing work here too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the intention. I mean, when we pay it forward, is part of the is creating this energy system
Yeah.
within the challenge. And I don't know how to describe it to people. It's a bit difficult to describe, but
No,
some people get it
yeah.
and some people don't. But I tell them like, listen, there's an energy system within the challenge, and it's because it's a paid forward system. That's the way it works. And so, someone has paid energy forward to you, and now you're paying energy forward to the next person. I think we have some of our challengers that are on the 6th or 7th generation of paid forward, which is amazing. Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, it is quite beautiful in the way,
Yeah.
especially for me. It's uplifting because I can see all the connections, and it's
Yeah, it's
really,
so
yeah. So it's kind of one of the inspirations for me, seeing everybody connect and how they're actually growing out of this and stepping back. So it's amazing. I wish you the best
yeah.
of luck, Amanda. You have
Thank
amazing
you
things ahead of you.
so much.
Keep
You
going.
too. Keep
Keep
going.
going. All right, Amanda.